Jesse Waters had a rare moment of honesty here. This is a classic example of accidentally telling the truth or saying the quiet part out loud. He's gonna, in detail, explain the way the right-wing media ecosystem misinformation fire hose works. Ready? This is an incredible clip. Watch this.
Dana, we are waging a 21st century information warfare campaign against the left, and they are using tactics from the 1990s.
So far, this is spot on. We're doing modern information warfare, and they're using tactics from the 1990s. Remember when Chuck Schumer called a press conference a week after Trump pardoned 1,500 January 6ers, including ones who assaulted cops, including ones who were Fredophiles? A week after, when Trump had already done about 37 new horrific things that deserve their own press conference, he comes out and goes, "Oh my God, Mr. Trump, I cannot believe you, sir, Mr. President, did the thing that was very bad. Mr. Trump, sir, you don't even believe in law and order, sir. Oh my God, Mr. Trump, you have to stop this nonsense. And Democrats are gonna win. We will win. We will win. A week late and focusing only on one thing as opposed to the 37 other things you could have focused on. It just truly is 1990s. Bro, wakey. This is the social media age. You have all these different outlets, all these different platforms that are in the moment, real-time updates, one thing after the next thing after the next thing. If you are not plugged in, if you are not on top of it, I'm sorry, this job is not for you. It's just not for you. Go do something else, right? So anyway, we're 12 seconds in and I couldn't help but interject, but let's keep going.
They're holding tiny press conferences, tiny little rallies. They're screaming into the ether on MSNBC. This is what...
The one thing he's wrong about is, the protests are actually good and organic and getting bigger and bigger and bigger, okay? Those are genuinely helpful. But yes, they're always like 3 steps behind the Democrats are.
Screaming into the ether on MSNBC. This is what you call top-down command and control. You get your talking points from a newspaper and you put it on the broadcast network and then it disappears. What you're seeing on the right is asymmetrical. It's like grassroots guerrilla warfare. Someone says something on social media, Musk retweets it, Rogan podcasts it, Fox broadcasts it, and by the time it reaches everybody, millions of people have seen it. It's free money. And we're actually talking about expressing information. They are suppressing information.
He's not wrong about the way their system works. You have all of these like far right-wing accounts. Many of them are Nazis, like straight up Nazis. And they will find something and lie about it or misstate it. And it'll just spread like wildfire. Right? I mean, one of the best examples of that, which happened recently, was the absolute lie that there are 150-year-olds still getting Social Security, and that as a result, like 50% of Social Security funds are completely fraudulent, and that Elon and Doge are just going to go in there and get rid of that, and everything will be great. There are no 150-year-olds getting Social Security checks. That's a total fucking lie. First of all, it literally legally cuts everybody off at 115, period, right? But also... we know the fraud rate. It's like 0.82 or 0.84%. It's not even a percent of fraud rate for it. And they were misreading how it was coded. And they're 150. No, it's just the default coding leaves it at a certain date. So they just don't know what the fuck they're talking about. But it doesn't matter. Because one person spreads it. It goes viral. All of the right-wing accounts harp away on it. Elon brings it up or Trump brings it up. It gets on Joe Rogan. It gets on... And by the way, notice... Jesse Waters is now directly including Joe Rogan in the right-wing media ecosystem. He's admitting it. And you know what? He's 100% right. Because by the way, what has happened with this guy? The other day, there was a CIA agent on the show. I'm not kidding. A CIA agent. So when you tune into Joe Rogan these days, you get a CIA agent, a billionaire robber baron, corrupt Republican politicians, or washed comedians talking about their 12th special on wokeness being bad. That's what you get. That's the menu. And what does Joe Rogan do? Bro, wokeness is so bad. Bro, isn't Elon such a mega genius, bro? Oh my God, Elon, bro. I wish I could suck him off, bro. Like, this is what they do. And so many of these, like, all those bullshit claims about, like, look at all the money that we're spending. We spend $14 trillion a year on Moroccan belly dance lessons for trans dolphins, bro. Like this, and it just spreads. And all these lies go around the world before the truth gets its fucking pants on. And, I mean, they act like there's no way to fight back against this. Fucking of course there is. There are people in these trenches who follow all the news super close, can highlight the things that are the most extreme, that are the most absurd, right? And we put it out there. And if Democratic politicians were intelligent, if they were up to date, if they were current, if they cared, you have these like a ready-made menu on. I'm going to talk about this. I mean, I brought this up already, but Trump, his first day, signed an executive order to raise drug prices. We harped away on that. I'm not sure I saw a single Democratic politician hammer Trump on the fact he just signed an executive order to raise drug prices. He signed an executive order to allow more corruption in his cabinet. He got rid of all the rules to rein them in. It's literally a fill the swamp executive order, and he wasn't hit on it at all. Like, if I'm giving you the roadmap. I am literally giving you the roadmap. It's your job to take it and run with it. It's your job to make these stories as big as they should be. I can do my part on my little corner of the internet here, but the way that the right media ecosystem is truly an ecosystem. Something spreads, they all talk about it. It literally drives the news coverage for a day or two straight. And on the left, it's just like, Jesus Christ. They're barely fighting back. Democrats and liberals and leftists are barely fighting back. There's a disconnect. There's zero connection to the online world and the social media world and the people who know what they're talking about and can drive home the right talking points based on actual factual information. That's the difference also, is that their shit is bullshit 90% of the time. And we're telling the truth 100% of the time. So, like, we're giving you the fucking roadmap. We're giving the fact that how many Democrats have really hammered away on Elon dismantling the anti-scam police, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. When was the last time you heard anybody other than me call it the anti-scam police? Has anybody other than me called it that? Why have they not called it that? I'm giving you the roadmap. It is right fucking here. And so it is infuriating, bro. But there is some good news. Joe Rogan was recently dethroned as the #1 podcast by, you ready for this? The Midas Touch crew. Shout out to the Midas Touch. I mean, that's the anti-Trump central, media outlet. And the fact that they just leapfrogged Rogan, I do think that's indicative of the times changing. I really do. It didn't take long for Trump and Elon to massively, colossally overreach, piss off so many people. And now you're beginning to see in the social media world too, the tides are turning, right? But again, I reiterate, if you're a Democratic politician, you have to be plugged in, you have to be current, you have to know what the talking points are, you have to know the points of weakness and the stories to hammer away on, and you just don't fucking see with many of them. Shout out to some of them who are on top of it, AOC does a decent job, Maxwell Frost does a decent job, Jasmine Crockett does a decent job. There's some who are on top of it more so, but the Hakeem Jeffries and the Chuck Schumers, it's like, bro, I don't know what you want me to tell you. You're just not equipped for this moment. You're just not equipped for it. Not even close. So there you have it. But man, what a video this is. I mean, he just lays it out there. I saw somebody, I think from Media Matters, quote tweeted this and said, bro, I've been working on this story for like 10 years to describe in detail the exact way the right-wing media ecosystem works to spread misinformation. And Jesse Waters just goes out there and says it. He just says it. He just broadcasts it to the world. But it's a damning admission, isn't it? It's a damning admission. There would be nothing wrong with the way it works if they were telling the truth. But the fact of the matter is, oftentimes the shit that blows up and becomes the biggest talking points on the right, complete horseshit. Totally untrue. Like, just wrong. And they spread it to drive home their grander narrative. And their grander narrative always comes back to trans people bad, immigrants bad. And that's what they push. Whereas on the Democratic side and the liberal side and the leftist side, we need to refocus. Our narrative is the robber barons are the problem, right? Money in politics and corruption and bribery, that's the problem. And they are your enemies. It's not trans people. It's not immigrants. They are your enemies. So again, the roadmap is there. There are people on the liberal side and the leftist side who are plugged in, but those politicians need to, I'm sorry, but most of them really do look at people like us with disdain. They do. They look at us with disdain. And part of the reason is we're also more objective, and we will call a spade a spade. If a Democratic politician fucks up, we call them out on it, right? And they just want pure cheerleaders. And so there's this, like, they kind of look down their nose at us. They don't take us seriously, and, you know, they feel like we're not part of the crew, right? And it's like, if only you knew the massive, colossal winning coalition you had if you just gave a shit, stayed current, listened to the points that matter, hammer home the right arguments. And then also, if you do that, when it comes to policy too, we all end up much more on the same page. So anyway, there you have it. But what an admission from Jesse Waters, man. What an admission. But liberals and leftists and Democrats need to sort of wake up and realize the roadmap is there for you too. Because I've never seen, liberal and leftist Twitter has been on fire lately since Trump got reelected and all the horrible things he's doing. There's a fire reignited underneath all of us. And so the roadmap is there. You just have to decide to care and to plug in and to realize, hey, we have the roadmap, but you got to allow some other voices into the room that actually know what the fuck they're doing. And they've been very hesitant to do that to this point, but hopefully that changes. All right, guys. That's the show, y'all. I love y'all very much. By the way, tune in to Crystal, Kyle, and Friends this week. Sign up below. You're not going to want to miss it. We have Greg Palast coming on, legendary journalist Greg Palast. He's going to tell you what really happened this last election with facts. He's bringing the receipts, okay? Sign up for Greg Palast on Crystal, Kyle, and Friends, which is on Substack below. You're not going to want to miss this week's episode. Other than that, thank you all for listening. Everybody could subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. I really, really appreciate that. And, of course, much love to everybody who supports this show on Patreon or tips on YouTube. Could not do it without you. Remember, guys, this is real independent media. I've never talked to an advertiser. I'm very proud of that fact. Very few people can say that in this space. You guys have kept me honest. You guys have kept this show pure. So I love you, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Peace. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.